Are you recording?
As promised, his special guest Tristan King will have a look at the Amiga 4000, drink some beer, play some arcade games, and then we're going to do a Johnny 5 short circuit marathon.
Yep, afterwards.
But this hasn't been turned on for many weeks. After a bit of persuasion, it's come on. We managed to get a game to load. We go, wow, look at that gorgeous CRT.
It's actually ridiculously clear and amazing how good a monitor from this era can actually be. As far as colours and everything concerned, I think it's excellent. Alright.
Right, so I guess we play with it a little bit. Here comes the Amiga 4000 openage.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh. What have we got in here still?
Alright, so
This top board's actually like a Mac emulator card. It's got some Mac EPROMs in it.
alright.
So you can actually boot up as a Mac, because Macs were 68K back in these days, and it's also got a really rudimentary SCSI interface. When I got this, that SCSI was hooked up to, I think it was hooked up to a hard drive and the CD-ROM. Since I've just stuck an IDE hard drive in and an IDE CD-ROM, and that's in there doing nothing.
And so that had memory expansion specifically for the Mac board, was it? Or
I think mostly it was a ROM carrier, and then these also were able to do some x86 as well, but then these became really redundant with something, I think Shapeshifter or something came out after this, and they just stored the ROMs on your hard drive, and this whole board became pretty redundant, but it's still a cool piece of history.
that's really cool. It is strange how they go into the back of that port. Like, it's a very long card when you look at them.
That's a Zorro 2 card, I believe.
Yeah. Alright, so the network card next.
Yeah, now, these are really common. Now, what's interesting about this is that's the Zorro 2 and Zorro 3 type slot. These are actually ISA slots, because you can put a PC bridge board in here, and that can then work through this bus to use PC cards. Now we have some RAM.
Yeah.
That one's, ooh, not clicked in very well. I can't remember how much RAM it's got. I think it's like 8 or 10 megs. I think it's got 2 megs on board, and then it's got another 8 megs in these slots, so it gives it 10 megs, I think.
And that's broken up into what, the fast RAM and then the system RAM, is it? Or how does it work?
Well, it's got 2 megs of chip RAM.
Chip RAM, right? Yep.
Yeah, and then this is fast-ish RAM.
Yep, okay.
True good fast RAM would actually have to go on the CPU card, which we'll have to try and get into.
Yep. And that's an interesting piece as well. So this is the power button.
Yeah, that's
actually reaches back through the case on a full slide of plastic and then pushes to the switch built into the power supply. Alright. So front cover off. So it's amazing how much hardware is actually fit into this one machine.
That's ghetto. There's not even a back piece on that ribbon there. But
It's in there.
so now we get down, we've got the CPU card. This is a 68040 expansion, so on the front panel it will say it's a 68030. I think that was standard 68030 50 megahertz, but this has got a 68040 25 megahertz, which even though it's slow in the megahertz range, it's actually faster.
Right.
And then the more decent, like Cyberstorm boards, would have a 68060 on here and actual RAM on here. So instead of having to go through all this slow bus back to here, it could directly access actual real fast RAM
Yep.
for a significant speed boost.
Yep.
And indeed, the new Vampire will do that too. But the Vampire, when they do make it to work in these, is pretty much going to take over, and the rest of the system does nothing apart from being a glorified keyboard controller. Cool, like the Amiga One X1000 seemed like the way Amiga was going to go.
Yep.
I'm convinced now that's not going to happen. Sticking with 68K, what they're doing with the Vampire,
Yep.
is going to be where it's at. I mean, I could stick 68060 in here with an adapter, but the Vampire 2 that's in my Amiga 600 is already significantly faster than this machine. It just doesn't have AGA.
Yeah.
And you can put AGA in with another core, but yeah, this machine's basically redundant after that.
That's true. But at the same time, it was the most powerful machine that they really released as far as their classic hardware was concerned. Yeah. these machines were used for a lot of multimedia functions that you couldn't do on PCs at the time.
Yeah, video. Well, what was the cost? You get a video toaster board to go on this. It's more around the Amiga 2000 era, and like back in those days, in the I think it was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
You pretty much see every show on TV would have video toaster elements.
Was it Babylon 5? Was one of the more advanced?
Yeah, that was actual lightwave rendering.
Okay, yeah.
In it, I believe. I think it was lightwave. The real true shining star of the Amiga is the Amiga 500 though. The Amiga 4000 is Commodore on its last legs dying.
That's where they're trying to get the most power out of a system that was developed a long time before.
That didn't. AGA wasn't a big enough step. There were talking some other architectures that were going to be significantly better. I think Hombre, but that was going to be ARM, I think.
Yeah, I was just saying that I always thought the Amiga 4000 was the holy grail of Amigas, because this is, having Amiga 500 as a kid, I thought this was the platform you aspire to, but from the sounds of it, Amiga are already going downhill.
The Amiga 500 with 1 meg of memory was pretty much where it was at.
Yeah. Well, that's where most of the games were developed.
Yeah, it was pretty well after that. After the 80s left us, the Amiga did too.
Yeah, that was a good. So, from my understanding, this has a standard ROM on the board, but it needs to load a more modern ROM to load the operating system.
Yeah, and it also needs that reboot
off the hard drive
to get the hard drive to boot initially for some reason.
Alright, I think this is booting now. Hopefully.
I think we're going to have some mad flicker. I don't think there's any way around this.
No, well, the resolution's going to change once we get in, I guess.
I'm not sure if the actual sync speed. So it's actually done, like Tristan was saying, it's booted up with a 3.0 ROM, started to go on the workbench, then it's gone, okay, no, we're going to reboot to a 3.1 ROM, and now we're finally in there.
Okay,
so we've actually got 14 megabytes of fast RAM and 2 megs of chip RAM. So there's 14 megs. That might not have been
true before, but we did reinstall that stick of RAM. So
we've gained some MBs.
Yes.
We've gained some MBs. Excellent.
So this is what's the resolution we're running on this at the moment?
I'm not sure, but if you go into Workbench,
yep.
No, not work.
Sorry.
No, that's the work. That's where you keep your games and shit. Workbench.
Which. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Then you go prefs, I think. Prefs? Yeah, prefs. Then you go screen mode. So we're running 640 by... So multi-scan productivity. So that's 640 by 400, but it's over-scanning quite a bit. So it's probably running more like 720 by 500 and something.
Right, yep. And we've got maximum 256 colours at this resolution. But there's a lot of different screen modes that this could do for different.
It's running at 32 colours at the moment because, depending on the speed of your system, you don't really want to ramp. You can ramp it up to 256, but it will be quite slow.
Oh, it actually gets like a vertical draw.
Yeah, it'll start drawing everything. Yeah. 32 colours on a 68040 at basically 640 by 480 is pretty usable.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So this is. The window layout, you don't really have a maximise sort of option with the screens or anything like that you'd be used to with Windows.
And indeed, when I run a 4K monitor, I still operate it like an Amiga.
So everything's pretty much like a tiled experience. And then, of course...
We have a CD-ROM in there full of games because I haven't got them on the hard drive.
Now, what we have to do, we have to go...
Yeah, you can't see them. You have to go show all files because I haven't got icon definitions in them.
So where's that?
Up, down, down.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
there we
all
go.
files.
Excellent.
Now you'll see we've got games and demos. I haven't installed a whole lot on this computer. Like I said, I got it going on the net and that was about it. And then I got the CD burner. Well, it's actually got a DVD drive in it working.
Excellent.
And that was pretty cool. Like you see, the DVD drive has got 1.7 gigs free on it. That's kind of cool.
Some more on. All right. So, what should we load up just to give a bit of a demo?
We should load up a game.
Latest.
Just pick one, dude.
Latest sounds good.
Latest AGA demo. Latest demo AGA.
With unlimited ammo and energy.
You're right. 1995 by Team 17.
Okay, so this is pretty much
3D gaming on an Amiga. I use a keyboard.
as much
I use a
3D as
mouse.
you can do.
Oh, it's a
yeah,
keyboard. It's Doom style. It's not running too badly.
That's pretty
But
good.
we've got like 150 by 100 resolution going on
This
here,
is
though.
true.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, now we've lost some frames. Oh, you're in the big boy territory now.
I don't want to do
The
that.
accelerated Amiga land.
Right. So I wasn't even using the mouse at all. Oh, there we go.
I'm not sure how you
I
shoot.
opened the door.
Space. Must be out or control or... Must be a shoot button somewhere.
I think so. I'm
You
getting...
just changed
I
weapon.
did.
Maybe you can't shoot in the demo. Anyway, hit F12 or F10, I think. And then we can go on to something else.
That's true. It's Super Frog.
Yeah, you can get your Super Frog on.
That's such a clear screen, though.
The 1960 monitor was quite a sought-after piece of legend for many children.
It's just amazing how...
I've actually got another multi-sync monitor as well. It looks very, very similar to 108.4S, but it's not as good as this. This is the Commodore monitor of choice.
That's the one to get. Ah. Oh, good things.
It's me,
Ah.
maybe.
So this is what the Amiga was really good at, was 2D side-scrolling sort of games, working with sprites and things like that.
I said, yeah, you can just use it.
That's cool. I've never played this game before.
And now you are dead.
This is how it works. I like the way he falls from his head.
It falls from his life. Now they say the definition of insanity is doing the same,
over
same,
and over again.
and expecting a different result.
Well, you can't jump through there, so let's...
Jump! Jump on it. Jump on him. Yeah, Mario. Mario. No! This is not very well set up at all. Hebo player. Get Hebo player on the crank. Can we then go bit of drag and drop action?
Let's try.
Let's see. It's the first one. Come on, give me back. Get rid of this clock. This mouse pointer clock brings back the frog.
Such memories.
There we go. Drag and drop.
That's excellent.
There was some Amiga mod action.
And I'd imagine not copyrighted music, you won't get copyright strike for this. That's pretty cool though. So that's something that the Amiga and Atari systems were used for a lot as well, was their music abilities as well.
The Amiga had Amiga could play back samples. The Atari could only play back FM, like frequency modulated.
But it came with a MIDI interface.
Yes, it had MIDI, which was a big advantage over the Amiga. The Amiga's got a better inbuilt sound setup, but the Atari had better interfacing potential.
Yeah. Alright guys, thank you for joining us with a bit of an overview of the Amiga 4000. It's quite the machine. It's my first time I've actually played with one, so I've really enjoyed going over it and seeing the hardware involved and what it's capable of, but also seeing some of the limitations.
Tristan King.
Thank you.
Right, Red. It's the end of the video. Yes.
Thanks, man.
On a lighter note, what I should say is, if you like this content, let me know. If you think there's a better way we can do it, you want to know more about the Amiga 4000, also let me know. And if you haven't, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell, for God's sake, so you know when my next video is coming up. And most of all, just enjoy life.
Sounds like a good plan. See you.